tribe, how you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. We are back for a retro review. We are here for part 2 of The Getaway, Different World Season 3, episode 23, I believe. 24, episode 24. So we left off with, Dwayne and Ron trying to get the drugs off the island. They running from the drug dealers. The drug dealers just figured out who they were, and they are running after them and left all the women in the house feeling crazy. Because you got the woman that Ron picked up at the dock, and she was looking crazy because she was like, Ron just ran off. And then, of course, with Kim and Freddie are like, well, dang, we invited them to lunch and they just rolled out. Like, what's going on? And of course, they have no idea what the real deal is. So they are having their whole sister circle moment, and Whitley is letting them know, listen, y'all don't sit here and let these men control y'all. Y'all don't let these men control whether we have a good time or not. We need to go down to that beach and we need to enjoy ourselves. And at first the ladies are like, whatever, Whitley, whatever. They're like, you just mad at your boyfriend. You just want us to commiserate with you. And she was like, no, it don't have nothing to do with Julian, which of course it does. She was like, I'm just saying, we can't sit around here and let these men control, control our vacation. And so Freddie is the first one to sort of jump on board and say, you know what, she is right. So then the woman that Ron picked up, she was like, you know what, she is right. Forget Ron. I don't even know him like that. So she gets ready to leave. And, Kim is just like, well, y'all can say what y'all want. But if Paul show back up, Paul can get lunch and everything else I promised him, okay? Y'all can be mad if y'all want to. I'm good. So, as the ladies, so Dwayne and Ron end up coming back because they can't get off the island because the drug dealers then followed them down to the dock, and they saw the drug dealers didn't see them because of course they don't know what they look like, but they were like, we know that they are waiting for us they just waiting for an opportunity to get us and get this bag. Now, I'm going to be honest, at that point, I think I would have just gave the people the bag. Just saying. But, the ladies, of course, they're mad at Ron, Dwayne and Ron. And, of course, Dwayne and Ron are not telling them everything that's going on. Julian shows up. And, of course, Whitley is shocked to see him. And Julian talks about everything he did to get there. He said, listen, I went to D.C. early. I got my interview early, got the job. Then I got on a train, plane, automobile to get here to you just because, I wanted to see you. And all I could think about was getting in that ocean. And Whitley was like, that's all you could think about? He was like, would you like to join me? And, of course, she was like, yes. But, see, Whitley had talked herself into that corner. And so now she got to play hard and play mad. And she was like, but me and the ladies, we already decided that we were going to go to an arts and crafts fair. And so you just going to have to make do. And, of course, Julian is like, oh, she got jokes. She playing games. But he used to Whitley and her games, child. So the ladies go off. Julian goes to get in the beach. He, asks Ron and Dwayne, do y'all want to come with us? And they're like, no. And Ron and Dwayne are trying to figure out how they're going to get off the dock. So they come up with this great idea to dress and drag and get off the dock. Now, here's the part where it is just pure comedy. Don't think too deep into it because, of course, at that point, everybody is fooled and nobody seems to know that that's really Ron and Dwayne dressed up in drag, which, of course, you can see that a mile away. They get to the police station, and the police officer is looking at them like they have lost their mind because, of course, you got these two men that are clearly in drag showing up, and they're giving you this crazy story about some drug dealers chasing them, and that's why they dressed up as women. They go to open the bag to show the police officer, and the bag is full of all of Julian's stuff. They picked up Julian's luggage instead of the bag with the drugs and the money in it. So they tell the police their story, and they end up coming back to the house because the police are like, all right, we on our way. Now, again, why you would leave the police station without the police with you to come with you to get the bag, I have no idea. Especially since them drug dealers are sitting at the dock waiting for y'all. But again, pure comedy. We just gonna go with the story. So while they're there, the two drug dealers show up at the house. And of course, they have no idea that these are two men dressed up as women. And they tell them, we looking for Dwayne and Ron. And they were like, well, they're not here. We don't know where they went. They'll be back later. And they were like, okay, well, tell them we'll be back at 10 o'clock. And they better have our bag with them. And of course, they were like, okay, all right, okay, Then Ron's girl comes through. And of course, she doesn't know that it's Ron. And the drug dealers are actually upstairs because they were like, well, you sure, can we check upstairs just to, just to make sure that Ron and Dwayne aren't here? And they were like, sure. So while they're upstairs looking, she comes by, and Dwayne is trying to get her to leave while Ron is trying to convince her to stay. Because, of course, he wants to flirt or whatever. But Dwayne is like, she need to get up out of here because the drug dealer's upstairs. So well, all of this, they get everybody, so they get rid of everybody. They get out of drag and everything. And after this, the ladies end up coming back. Now, the ladies are convinced Whitley, listen, stop being so hard on Julian. You know you like him. You know you love him. Girl, like, you are here. Like, we would, what we wouldn't give to be here with our boyfriends, enjoying, the seclusion or whatever. So Whitley was like, you know what? You are absolutely correct. So then she asked Kim, she said, well, Kim, do you mind, sharing the sofa bed with Freddie tonight so that her and Julian can have a room to themselves? And of course they were like, Whitley has decided that she is going, that tonight is the night, like Betty Wright said, okay? Now, Dwayne and Ron come downstairs, and of course Ron forgot to take off his earrings and the makeup, honey. So of course they're laughing at him, and they're like, what in the world is going on? So at this point, they end up telling Kim what Kim and Freddie what's really going on, because of course they need, they need to let them know what's up, because the guys are coming back later on that night. And of course at first they're like, no, that can't be true. And they're like, but it is. Of course there's a huge storm on the island. Ron's girl comes back because she was like, listen, we're used to these kind of storms on the island. You need, some flashlights in case you lose power, yada, yada, yada. So they end up telling her what's going on. And they were like, well, we need to get off the island. And she was like, ain't nobody leaving this island. Like, they closed the dock. Ain't nobody getting off. And they were like, ain't nobody getting on either. So they know the police aren't coming. And the drug dealers didn't leave. So they are stuck on the island, and they know that the guys are going to end up circling back around. So they're trying to come up with a plan. Now, Ron's girl decides, listen, my parents, they're a 20-minute walk down the road. Let me go see if I can get a car, and at least we can get y'all out of this house and get y'all, I can take y'all to my parents' house until the storm passes and we can get to the police. That way, at least they won't know where y'all are. So her and the girls leave. And they leave, and Ron leaves with the girls and leaves Dwayne by himself. Now, while this is going on, Julian and Whitley are upstairs, and Whitley is throwing herself at Julian. And Julian is like, Whitley, stop, slow down. Like, what are you doing? And she was like, tonight's the night. Like, I want you to take my virginity. And he was like, this ain't how this is supposed to happen. Like, you are a virgin. That is special. I want, romantic walk along the beach and champagne and rose petals and slow dancing. And like, this shouldn't happen in a house full of, 5 or 6 other people that, could ruin the night for us. And so she was like, I don't care. But he, convinces her, listen, this ain't it, But they still are having themselves a little romantic moment upstairs. Dwayne rolls up and, busts in on them. And of course, they're like, what? For real, Dwayne? Like, really? But then he has to let them know what's going on. So Julian is like, oh my goodness. All right. So now Julian, he ready. So Julian ends up falling asleep. Whitley and Dwayne end up getting into an argument, doing what Whitley and Dwayne do best. And Whitley is flinging around this candlestick holder. And the drug dealer is trying to sneak into the bedroom. Whitley ends up hitting him over the head with the candlestick. Then the other drug dealer comes through and they get to fighting. It's a whole comedy of errors. Whitley ends up hitting Julian in the head with the candlestick instead of the other drug dealer. Dwayne gets to running. While Dwayne comes downstairs, Ron comes in the house with the girls and they end up throwing the bag around. And it's a whole moment. But at the end of it, the drug dealer ends up getting the drop on him, and he pulls the gun. But then Dwayne ends up being able to knock into him and get the gun, and so they're able to. It ends up being like a little stand down situation. Next thing you know, here comes Walter with the police coming through, and they save the day and they take the drug dealers away. And so it was hilarious. It was actually one of my favorite episodes. Because while they were at the police station, they told the police to call Walter Oakes to verify who they are and that they are students at the college in case they didn't believe them. So that's how Walter got involved. Poor Ernest he just kept running back and forth to the bathroom. I ain't never seen a hangover last that long, but I guess he drank that much, child. I don't know. But anyway, that is how the episode ended, y'all. With Whitley telling her tall tales, because it's just like a game of telephone. By the time it was all over with, Whitley, she saved the day and she was harpooning people like Neptune in the bottom of the ocean, child. I don't know. But again, one of the better episodes. We're almost at the end of season 3. We about to rev it up. I know I say that every time, but we really are gonna rev it up. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.